So a lot of us, including I'm sure a lot of you watching this video, predicted that the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser would be a complete disaster even before that first trailer came out that got ratioed into oblivion and then taken down off of the YouTube channel that it was posted on. That was pretty hilarious, but the situation has gotten worse and worse every single time Disney or Star Wars or Lucasfilm talks about the Starcruiser, releases any kind of marketing material for the Starcruiser, or anyone who has any insider info like Drunk 3PO comes out and talks about what's going on with the Galactic Starcruiser, with the actual Starcruiser, you know, the guest experience at the Starcruiser, and also apparently now there's lore behind the Starcruiser that connects to the actual Star Wars universe that's not only ruining and embarrassing the Galactic Starcruiser itself, but also ruining and embarrassing the lore that was, you know, even as far back as the original trilogy all the way to the sequel trilogy. They're ruining things. They're taking certain lore and putting it into the Galactic Starcruiser, taking certain characters that they need to just be left alone at this point because they've been ruined time and time again by Disney Star Wars. They're taking these legacy characters and also new characters like Rey and Kylo, which we'll talk about in this video later on. They're taking these characters and putting them into these positions in the Galactic Starcruiser that just make, for one, no sense, and also make them look really stupid. Let's check out what we're going to be talking about today, though. They released a new trailer for the Galactic Starcruiser. It says Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser tells a new story. Walt Disney World Resort. 1.3k likes to 1.9k dislikes. I think it's safe to say that this is probably going to get a lot worse as time goes on because people don't like the Galactic Starcruiser. It's not only ridiculously expensive, but it also just feels like a cheap, you know, knockoff version of Star Wars, a kind of not even off-brand. It just feels very generic. You know, it just feels very generic sci-fi. If you weren't a Star Wars fan, or even if you are a Star Wars fan, and no one told you that this was a Star Wars hotel, you wouldn't have any idea that this was a Star Wars hotel unless, you know, you got to the lightsaber training or something like that. And the lightsaber training is, you know, I could go on all day about how embarrassing each feature of this hotel is that we've seen so far, but I'm not going to do that because we have a lot to talk about in this video, a lot of new information about the Galactic Starcruiser. So let's get into it. I just want to first, you know, obviously the ratio is really bad. Like I said, it's going to get a lot worse. Let's check out some of the comments. Sid just says gay. Okay. All right, Sid. I guess that's an apt description. Disney does not care about the fan base. They're going after the 1% of people that will pay $6,000 and tell the other 1% friends that they need to go. It's called keeping up with the other 1% people. That's true. You know, a lot of people in the comments are saying, you know, laughable, $6K for this. It is really ridiculous. Like I said, not only is it extremely expensive, but it's also not giving a very immersive experience into the Star Wars universe that a lot of Star Wars fans out there would probably end up paying a crazy amount of money to go to. You know, anyone with money who's a diehard Star Wars fan, if they saw a Star Wars hotel that was very immersive, that was very true to the Star Wars name, that truly felt like you were inside of Star Wars, it would probably be a different story. There would probably be a different narrative around it. A lot of people out there would probably be dying to go to this hotel. But because they put zero effort into it, because either they put zero effort into it, or Disney, Bob Chapek, Star Wars, and the Imagineers just have no clue what they're doing with Star Wars. I think it's probably that the Imagineers and Disney have no idea what they're doing with Star Wars because they've proven that over and over again. I'd rather sit in the brig for 2 days and wait for a short stormtrooper to come rescue me. At least that'd be authentic. That's true. Yeah, at least it would have been really cool if they put an actual ship from Star Wars in Disney in Disney World / Disneyland, and they just said it exists in an alternate timeline, an alternate universe. You know, it doesn't have to connect to the canon. Not everything has to be the MCU where every single thing is connective tissue and stuff like that. Speaking of that, let's get into this. Let's get into this part of the video. A new promo for Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser has revealed that Rey and Kylo Ren will meet up again for probably the first and maybe the only time. Maybe the only time. They don't even know. They're writing this stuff as they go. And I truly think that this is them admitting defeat with the Galactic Starcruiser. I think this is Kathleen Kennedy, Disney Star Wars, Bob Chapek, and the Imagineers saying that we admit defeat. The Galactic Starcruiser is not what we thought it was going to be. It's not what the fans want. It's not what the fans thought it was going to be. It's actually pretty bad. So we're going to give you these stupid reasons, like Leia and Han being going on the honeymoon in a Galactic Starcruiser. And then now, Rey and Kylo Ren will meet up again for probably the first. So they don't even know if it's the first and maybe the only time. They don't even know if it's the only time. They're just making this stuff up as they go, man. This is them admitting defeat on the Galactic Starcruiser. I think there's no question about it because they're trying to put in these dumb storylines into the Starcruiser instead of making improvements to the actual Starcruiser. That's an absolute disaster. Then we go to the actual article. Star Wars just confirmed a Rey and Kylo meeting that we never knew about. And they didn't know about it either. That's the crazy part. They had no idea that this would happen until they decided, you know what, the Galactic Starcruiser is pretty trash. Let's go ahead and write in some stupid storylines to make a couple more weirdos go ahead and want to go to the Starcruiser because Rey and Kylo Ren had a love story there or something. I don't even know if it's going to be a love story. I would assume, you know, it's going to be Disney. It's probably going to be a love story. The Disney Parks Twitter account recently shared a new ad for the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. In the footage, Lucasfilm Story Group member explains pieces of the narrative, noting that there's a love story during, there we go, it's a love story, during the experience, and Rey and Kylo Ren meet up again at some point. There's a love story on board, and we'll get to see some of the characters that we know and love from the films, including Rey and Kylo, who will actually meet up again for probably the first and maybe the only time between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I just think that quote is so hilarious, how they say probably the first and maybe the only. Like, they truly have no clue what they're doing with the lore, not only in the sequel trilogy, but with this Galactic Starcruiser. Why does it have lore, man? Why does it connect to the actual Star Wars universe? Just make it immersive. Just make it feel like Star Wars. It doesn't have to have a story that connects to the actual Star Wars universe. Please stop doing this stuff. Also worth noting is that the monologue for cast members auditioning to play Rey at the hotel appears to be directed specifically toward Kylo Ren. I see it. I cannot turn. I'm not going to read this, man. But apparently, you know, Rey's talking to Kylo Ren on the ship. I just don't want it to be a love story, another love story. I feel like that was the worst part of The Rise of Skywalker, was the love story between Rey and Kylo Ren. Like, why does Rey like Kylo Ren? He's a mass murderer. Like, I understand that he turned back to the light side and all that stuff, but he's a mass murderer. Like, it's just so weird to me how quick the switch flipped. And I guess they're trying to fill in the gaps a little bit with the Galactic Starcruiser, but if we're being real, that's probably not what they're trying to do. They're probably just trying to get those weirdos on Twitter who love Reylo. They love it. You know, if you love Reylo, you're a weirdo. I'm sorry to tell you. You probably have something wrong with you in the brain. They're trying to get those weirdos, if there's a couple of them with money, to go ahead and stay at the hotel because they know that the actual hotel isn't actually attractive to anyone. They don't actually want to go there, but maybe they could get a couple more people to go because they have Han and Leia going on their honeymoon and Rey and Kylo going do whatever they're going to do on the ship. I don't know. But all the outlets are kind of turning on the Galactic Starcruiser, even the ones that have been kind of praising it a little bit, or not really praising it. There's been no one praising it. It's really just been some people being honest and attacking it because it's really bad, and some people trying to defend it and say that it's actually not that bad. But even the people who were trying to defend it, even the outlets that were trying to defend it, are now on the side of, yeah, this is pretty bad. It's not really defensible at this point. Disney's Galactic Starcruiser is already getting less immersive, and that's true, man. You know, every single time we get a new trailer, every single time we get new marketing material, I said it earlier on, it's less and less immersive as we get more information. Disney is already toning down immersion for Galactic Starcruiser by replacing data band term with magic band. So they're trying to make it Disney-fied. Of course, they're trying to make Star Wars feel more like Disney Star Wars instead of just Star Wars in itself. Then we go to CNET.com, and it says Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser explained what to know about Disney's outrageously pricey hotel. So they're calling it outrageously pricey, pretty much what everyone's calling it, because it's just not worth the money at this point. There is, I believe, the media day or the media access to this, whoever gets early access to the Galactic Starcruiser, I believe it starts today. And I believe they said that the embargo on the reviews lifts Friday. So we'll be able to get a lot more information when it comes to Friday. But, you know, people like Drunk 3PO and other insiders have already gotten pretty much all the information that we need to be able to write this hotel off as, you know, not worth the crazy amounts of money that they're charging for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that this hotel is worth it? I have a feeling that most of you are going to say no, but I still am curious to what you have to say about the whole hotel. What do you think about the new storylines with Han and Leia and Kylo and Rey? And let me know what you guys think about the whole situation in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.